Yes. Okay.
All right,
Like
we're live on my end.
Hello, me too.
All right, hi everyone. Welcome to the stream. I'm Kel. I make comics you can read at kelmcdonald.com.
And I am Alina Pete, and I make comics you can read at alinapete.com or at weargeek.com. But that's not all.
We also have other people here.
Oh, whoa.
Ah.
Special guest episode.
Hi, Nero. You should introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you. I just don't know to be sure. Hi, hello. I'm Hye Mardikian. I work as a comics pre-press technician, book designer, overall file wrangler. You can find me and my wares on explodinghigh.com, or I don't know, do a Google-roo, look at a comic page at the very front, be like, oh, that's who makes all these pages look nice.
I'm Nero. I do comics, and you can read them at itsnero.com. Only if you're an adult, though. Children
Nope.
be gone.
No
Here's
babies
the thing.
allowed.
Comics.
On my stream, where I draw Kel and I as our personas, what can I draw y'all as?
Ooh.
What are
My
your
persona is a blue tongue skink.
Hell
Yeah.
yes.
My persona is a Panamanian howler.
Amazing. Man, draw a skink. I love skinks.
It's a little fucking tube with tiny arms and legs.
They're
Good.
so good.
So before we came on air, we were talking about ridiculous shows that got canceled because they
Yeah.
were very bad.
Ooh, I like this too.
Trying to think of other really bad canceled shows that I saw. Too many.
There's a Wikipedia page for this, apparently.
Yeah.
List of television series canceled after one episode. I love that there's enough to...
Only one episode, goddamn.
Yeah.
One show that I am sad did not get picked up is the what's his name? The guy who was the showrunner for Hannibal but also made Pushing Daisies.
Oh yeah.
That guy. He made a Munsters reboot.
Yeah, Brian Fuller.
And it was real good. I was like, oh, this is like better than OG Munsters.
Oh wow, it didn't do very well, huh?
Yeah, it like aired and then as like a special, and then people did not like it, so it did not get picked up. It was probably too expensive.
Yeah.
Because the effects were rather nice.
I kind of want to watch this special now, though. It looks good.
Oh, I own it, so if you all come down for my birthday, we can watch it.
Yeah.
People criticize like digital purchases, but you know, sometimes it lets you own neat stuff that's going to disappear and never get released again anyway.
Those will be deleted off of the entire face of the world, and no one will ever be able to watch it again. That's always fun.
Yeah.
That's why I need my Gargoyles DVD, so that I can always watch Gargoyles.
Smart.
I love them. I love them. And when I was a kid growing up, I had to watch them all out of order because it was like I just had random Farmer vision. So it was they would show them in whatever order they felt like, which made the whole Avalon sequence really confusing.
I was gonna say there's some.
I can't even imagine knowing the world tour shit later on that they get into.
Yeah.
My God.
I mean, the world tour on its own, you could probably watch out of order because it is just like we went to a place and then we went to another place. It's more like that span of like 6 episodes.
It's more or less like, how did these people get here? What's going on? Why are we here in the first place?
It was like the hard jump between the like Guns Are Bad episode where Brooklyn actually accidentally shoots Eliza, and
Yeah.
then all
That
of a
was
sudden
nuts.
they're in like China, and there's like Chinese gargoyles. And you're like, what
Oh, they're
happened?
Japanese gargoyles.
Japanese, yeah, right,
But
yeah. That was a
That
hard set between those two episodes.
the gun episode was very funny because I remember Hye and I were watching it with Corey, and Corey, like 3 minutes in, was like, "Can you guess what this episode's about?"
We just all had that slow moment of
It's
realization,
like,
This is one of those government mandated episodes where they're like, okay, we need to do some gun safety education here, y'all.
boy.
uh before you were jumped into the chat, Alina, we were talking about the Buffy beer episode.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Um which some people say is the worst episode of Buffy. I don't know. I feel like um there's some episodes in the last season that are even worse. And they don't have the excuse of it's early and or like the government paid us to make this episode.
Yeah. There were some real stingers
Um
in that first season.
well no, in the last season, like I'm specifically thinking the one where um the boy has a jacket that makes girls fall in love with him.
Oh yeah.
I hate that episode.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you about the time I
Uh
played in a Buffy LARP?
a Buffy
I
LARP.
It was a
I
Buffy
think you
LARP.
told me and that like two people were Buffy faith shippers.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was like 4 people playing Buffy, or no, 5 or 6, because there was basically a Buffy from every season.
Okay.
Buffy for all your needs.
Yeah, basically, and then there was like a couple different versions of Willow and Xander, and I think those were the only ones with multiple versions of them. And then everyone else is like random characters. I got to play Cassandra,
Mhm.
who had died, of course, because she died in the episode she was in, and then had come back from heaven and was like, "Y'all, I met God. She's great. She sent me here to warn you all about this crazy shit that's currently happening, but she didn't tell me how to fix it. So anyway, that's fun."
Did people believe you when you said that you knew the future, and that
Only
bad
the
things were gonna
Willows.
happen?
Only the Willows believed me, and there was a reason for this. They had like some kind of spell thing going on where they could see me and
Okay.
believe me, and everyone else was just like, "Yeah, whatever."
'Cause that's kinda her thing and why
Yes,
her name is Cassandra.
exactly. It was fun.
Uh,
The Willows were very excited to find out that God was a woman.
What? Hello?
uh,
What is this? What is this?
but, Alina, I then told, Hye and Nero about the best season 1 episode of Buffy,
Hmm.
which is there's a demon in the internet.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's
That's a
so
real.
funny.
That's so good.
There's always demons.
I had to look it up immediately, and
What if
it
there was a
looks
demon
so good.
in the internet?
Also, that's when, the teacher introduces herself as a techno pagan.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I feel like I met some of those. Voice chat.
There's
Okay.
a book I found ages ago, I think at a Goodwill, that was legitimately from like 1995. That's like
Oh, nice.
paganism in the era of the internet, and it has all these like guides on how to find like witchy news groups and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I have to keep this
Oh,
forever to
Oh,
preserve
see,
it.
that would have been really. I feel like they could have made like a VHS
Yeah,
out of that, like one of those real cheap to video things or whatever.
yeah.
um, I support techno pagans of all stripes.
Gotta put a crystal by your modem so that your calls doesn't get dropped.
They make a spell circle via a chat room.
Oh god.
Stop.
Oh god. What the hell was the name? There was a Y2K novel that me and my friends were obsessed with in the like lead up to Y2K. I think it was called Worm, like
Mhm.
WYRM, and it was what if what if the internet was going to shut everything down on Y2K, which that was a thing. So they had to travel to all these different chat rooms to try and like find the keys that would stop the internet apocalypse from happening. And one of the ones that they traveled to was Furimuck, and
Good,
that
good.
is where they found, I forget the name. It was like Lord something something, the penis dragon.
Good, good. At
And so
least
they
it's
had to find.
accurate.
Yeah, right. It's good. I wish I still had a copy of that book because I'm sure it would be hilarious.
Um, did I tell
Is it?
you about Dies by the Fire?
No.
Okay, so Dies by the Fire is a very bad fantasy book. That very clearly, but is also charming in its badness because really it's just about how Ren fairs are great
Hell
and
yeah.
the author loves his wife.
Yeah.
Because basically electricity stops working.
Okay.
And so the two like there are two like plots going on, and one is because electricity stopped working, and now like we have to go back to pre-electricity tech. Only the Ren Fair people know how to survive
Uh,
because they know how to live without
yeah, I
electricity.
don't.
And the it gets this is so it's all pro Ren Fair and why you should go to the Ren Fair. But then
They will
on
survive the
top of
apocalypse.
that, the leader of the Ren Fair people is this Wiccan lady who's like doing a great job organizing everyone, and then like some people are jealous of her and try to overthrow her. And like meanwhile, there's a like other plot going on where a guy was giving people a ride. He was like a pilot of like a small plane. So he was giving some rich client a ride when the electricity went out, and he successfully landed his plane, but they're in kind of the mountains, so he has to get like his rich clients back to civilization safely. Um, One of them is injured, and he's all rough, rugged, like survivalist guy. And it's all building up to him meeting the Wicca priestess lady so they can fall in love. And you read the author about the author's bio, and it's like the priestess lady's just his wife,
Yeah.
and the pilot guy's just him.
It's just
And they
fancy
go to Ren
corporate
fairs all the
housewives.
time. It's just a big story about how great his wife and Ren fairs are.
Good.
That's great.
Yeah, I appreciate it when people put their hearts on their sleeves for like the thing that
There's
they like.
also 5 books in this series.
Jesus
my
Christ. Okay, maybe you like it a little too much.
When you're a wife guy and also a novelist. Love it. Love it a lot.
Love it.
There was like a Mercedes Lackey series that was sort of similar. It was like the Serrated Edge, I think it was called, and it was like, hey, me and my husband are super into car racing, and also elves, and also Ren fairs. That's what this novel series is going to be about. And it was kind of rad, actually. I want to put car racing.
I mean, I assume it would be better than this guy's because it's by Mercedes Lackey, but
Yeah.
it's just funny. Like he wrote 5 books about how rad his wife and Ren fairs are.
And I bet he sold a ton at Red Fairs.
Oh yeah.
Yes. While dressed as
They're
a
gold.
bard.
Yes.
Okay.
I last year I rewatched Dinosaur, the Jim
Yes.
Henson Dinosaur.
Yes.
I love their anti-drug episode. Because it's just, oh, here's a plant that makes everyone feel good and not want to work. And and that's a problem.
Damn
Yeah, so
dinosaurs.
because they don't want to work anymore. Like
yeah.
it makes it very clear that the problem is capitalism, but they're
Mm.
still framing it in an anti-drug narrative.
Yeah, dare
Um
under the guise of.
and then it ends with the teen son being like, listen, we have an important topic to talk to you about, and it's these overly preachy anti-drug episodes, and they're just gonna keep happening unless we do something to get networks to stop.
I mean, he's
Please,
not wrong.
God.
Good.
This is the show at Puppets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
um if,
See,
if
when
you
you
have
first.
not watched it recently, Nero, it goes hard against capitalism. And also, like, the end of the series is that the ice age happens because um and kills them all because they were ignoring climate change.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
no. Also, when you first said dinosaur kill, I forgot about the show and thought you were talking about the animated movie Dinosaur.
Oh yeah, that one's cute.
Oh, I haven't actually seen that.
It's such a, I don't know. I want to watch it again before I say it's a good movie, but the memory that I have of it as High Junior makes it very good. So I would be interested to go back to actually watch and be like, does this still hold up? Does this, I don't know.
Actually,
Yeah.
the 3D
Yeah,
doesn't hold
no,
up because
no.
I remember keeping stuff quiet and
Dinosaur
it's not.
Dinosaur the show ends with the ice age is happening and they're all going to die, and the dad has to explain to the baby dinosaur that him and people his age did not take very good care of the world.
Oh,
And now it's ruined. So him, little baby dinosaur, will not have a future. And then the little baby dinosaur says, "Are we gonna move?" And he goes, "No, because we only have one world." And then they
man.
all die. Like,
Wow.
They all die. The end. That's how we end our show.
the dinosaurs die.
Well, I mean, it's true to life.
Yep.
Yeah, all I knew was that it had weird, lumpy little puppets from the Jim Henson Factory, and it was on Disney.
Yep.
Oh man, they pioneered so many motion control effects during that because they were like, so we have these giant unwieldy suits with all of
Hmm.
these servos in the head. We need to try and figure out a way to optimize this in a way that we can still pilot them within like a 30-minute episode and it's not going to take us all day to shoot. So
Pilot
like,
them like a Jaeger.
yeah, basically. So like a lot of the shit that they use on like BattleBots right now, they're like, yeah, so these were kind of developed by Jim Henson because they had a
Oh,
bunch of studio
wow.
money. Yeah.
That's cool.
Or at least early
Shit, that's
versions thereof.
That's dope.
It's real cool. There's a really good Adam Savage. I forget what his channel is called, but he goes to the Jim Henson studio and he's doing like the latest versions where they have like so those were like the grandfather versions of what they have now for these control
Mm.
rigs
yeah.
that they can use for 3D puppets. And I didn't realize it, but there's this creepy show that my sister lets her kid watch that's on Netflix, and it looks like just a bunch of like baby animals in their underwear running around, and I'm like, oh, this has got some creepy vibes. I don't know who the fuck did this, but it's actually really well animated. I wonder how they got this done. It's Jim Henson
Hmm.
doing
Hell
this
yeah.
All
super
comes
creepy
back to
looking
the
show.
Henson Co.
Yeah, and they're like 3D puppets, but with people in mocap suits, um, piloting the puppets in real time, so the characters can actually like interact with each other and play and jump around. I was like, oh, that's why it's so well animated. It's just mocap with like two operators. So there's the person in the mocap suit, and then there's somebody operating the rig for the head, so they can actually like talk and smile and make all the expressions. I'm like, oh, I wanted to hate this, but it's actually kind of cool.
Um, there's an episode of the dinosaur show that's called "What's Sexual Harassment?"
Oh,
And
Yes.
it's about the first lady employee of the joins the tree pusher workforce, and one of the dude dinosaurs makes a bunch of sexual innuendos and asks if he can sit on her tail. and so she charges him with she sues him for what sexual harassment is what the courtroom keeps trying to decide. And yeah, the company he works for is the We Say So Corporation.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I will. That's pretty. It's like, okay, damn. You know, that's a. I just can't believe they end the show with like what actually happens to the. It's.
The dinosaurs, they all die.
They all died. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, you know what happened to them.
Dead. They're all dead now.
Yep.
We actually just watched the other night. What was it? The first episode for the second season of Prehistoric Planet.
Oh, cool.
So it's just as charming as the first season, although this time they're using a little bit more like they're using the first season's footage as like afterwards they have like actual scientists come on and talk about, rather than it just being David Attenborough charmingly narrate over different CGI footage of dinosaurs, which is very cool in its own right. But this season they kind of like look back at the shit from season 1 and it's like, hey, so we didn't, not that you need to be handheld through showing what dinosaurs are fucking doing, but also like, hey, this is a little bit more like scientific reasoning on why we assign this to this and such, or like, you know, different modern day parallels. So like I think one
Cool.
of the most interesting ones that we watched was one of the forget exactly what species it was, or like what genus it was within it, but the Quetzalcoatl, those really
Oh,
big
yeah.
massive pterosaurs, they
I love
showed
those.
like their mating rituals too, which I really like about the series. They show if you have like a big penultimate thing, like a dinosaur that is known for, this series goes out of its way to show you that dinosaur not doing that thing that it's known for.
Oh,
Like it shows
cool.
you everything else besides that.
Yeah, yeah.
I do like that a lot. That's charming.
I still love the episode from the first season that I think it was about like different mating dances, but it had the
Oh, the
one with
little
the super tiny arms doing
Yeah.
jazz hands.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Was that
Do
the
jazz hands to get.
Carnatosaur? Was that the Carnatosaur?
I think so.
So yeah, that's
I think I've seen gifs of that. I haven't actually seen the episode, but it's very cute.
extremely good. Oh Jesus, where are all these files? Oh. What's going on?
Where are your files?
File. Oh no.
I have drawn so many caribou this month, y'all. I'm on another caribou page, and then the next page has literally over 100 caribou.
Oh damn.
It's a lot.
Too many
It's a lot of
caribou.
boos.
More of them.
More caribou. Nothing but caribou.
There's too many caribou. I saw that image that you posted, Elena. That's too many.
Oh, the one in, was that Blue Sky? Did I post that anywhere else?
Yes,
I don't
it
think I
was
did.
Blue Sky.
Okay.
I
I'm on
think
Blue
didn't you
Sky
post it
now.
on Mastodon as well?
I think I thought, yeah. I posted the first page I did on Mastodon. There was so many. That was the first view of the herd, and then there's this where they're talking about what the caribou pelts are used for, and then there's the herd leaves, and it's just like, okay, cool, draw those caribou again, but now leaving. I was like, look, I'm not gonna get my 2 pages a week in this week because those 2 pages have like 300 caribou in them. So
It's
Jesus.
like
Yeah.
when I drew
so
that horse
no.
parade for Chosen One.
I'm like, I will catch up in the next chapter where there's like a snowstorm and a whiteout, but don't expect my 2 pages a week this week.
Yeah, you can get your gimme for that.
Yep.
If anyone complains, you just be like, just wait for the next one. You'll see.
You'll see
If
why.
anyone complains, you just whip out like a page of that and show, then like count out each one. And you're like, okay,
Yeah.
never mind. I get
I'll be like, once you've counted all
Give
of the
them all
children, then you can
names.
complain. Yes.
it.
Name,
You
number,
can't
and
leave here
put them
until
in.
you name me who's who. To read this comic. It's really each book is like 500 pages, so I just have not had time to do it.
Oh wow.
That's so many.
Wow.
Some of these pages are back from like '87. They still really hold up.
Which comic is it?
Trekker by Ron Randall.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one you've been posting pictures of? That one looks amazing.
No, that's the work I'm doing for that is Project 359, and that is a dude a team. It's a team of 3, and they're all writing about the Battle of Wolf 359, aka Best of Both Worlds, in the style of World War Z, where it's all interviews post the thing and talking about it, before, during, and the aftermath / recovery afterwards. So, and there's a lot of like supplemental material. There's a lot of different perspectives too. So it's this is a book that Simon and Schuster should be begging to have in terms of like their publication roster, but there are no more Trek books on the roster right now for printing. Fucking shame. So hopefully,
Yeah, damn.
yeah, there apparently, if what we hear from the grapevine, there are people that go to these conventions that are active now. So it's like maybe, but even then, we're not holding
Tee.
we're not holding. It's like even if they did happen, that's nice. That's not the goal. It's just the goal is to make a good thing because this is also a bit of a preamble for our web ring that we're hoping to drop in
Yeah,
July.
web rings.
I need to
Bring
get
web
going.
rings back. They're so good.
Yeah, so what we're going to be doing is a Trek fiction web ring where it's kind of like a collaborative world building project where we offer like different timeline resources. Like there's going to be different categories where it's like, big projects, one time like pieces of writing based off of like canon people have posted onto the website, and then different research, like linking different resources. So we've got a game plan. It's just setting down dividing
Cool.
responsibility
Are
for
you
it.
looking for more writers for that?
Yes,
I was
always.
talking to a Trekkie friend of mine today who was just lamenting. He's like, I don't have enough people in my life who like Trek, and also I just wrote a new fic and it's got no views, and I need to talk to somebody about it.
Oh no. Yeah, no, for sure. Like it's definitely a work in progress. Like we have the 3 founding works we're going to be using as like examples, as like here are your 3 examples of collaborative like world building in a sense of like we are offering our own resources that we've devised, and like hosting links for our websites and everything. Another page will be like, here's one-offs for people who want to dabble in this but don't have the time nor the spoons to be able to make something as gargantuan as our projects.
Nice.
So, yeah. Which it's good because we're kind of working within all 3 time frames for it. So, because our friend John is handling everything from like the Enterprise and original series era. Andy's kind of grappling more with like TNG shit, and I'm kind of like more in modern Trek era, but a little still ebbing towards like TNG Voyager shit. So it is a tangled web we weave, but a very good one. I'm very excited for it. It's just I need to get these other fucking things done.
That's very cool.
Yeah, woo! Thank you. Where are you?
I'm very interested in how the lower decks folks are going to end up on Strange World, New Worlds.
I'm Oh, by the way, Kel, thank you very much for that inked piece. I have that in my office now, above, like right below where my Deeradex picture is. I love my little 10D
It
and
was a
Rutherford.
good sample, even though no one got a commission except for JD.
Oh, really?
Bless.
Oh.
Yeah, I drew JD's characters.
Oh, I saw that one. That was really cool.
Yeah, he was the only one that got one.
Commissions are hard at conventions when it's
Yeah.
not like a community that's used to it.
I hate doing them. That's why I usually don't do them. I can't sell books and do commissions at the same time, so that's why I do just buy my books.
Sam and I are both run into that at shows, so we can do quite a bit of money in commissions at Gen Con because it's draw your D&D character like that. People want that. Sam mostly makes bank on I'll draw your pet. I also do pet portraits too, but at Gen Con, my real bank is like I will draw your D&D character. But we also sell just a heck ton of T-shirts. So we're getting to the point now where we're like, okay, we need to actually hire somebody to help us at the booth if we are going to take commissions, because otherwise we can't sell. So now we're trying to figure out how to like hire folks, and I had to put my foot down and be like, look, I helped you out last year so that you can do commissions because I didn't have the stuff to do so, but like that cost me a lot of money. So let's figure out how we can make this happen for both of us now. If that means hiring some local folks, I will do so.
Where? Huh. Where are you at?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually sold commissions at a non anthropomorphic interest convention. I don't have like a process, because usually I've got like a binder with examples, and like I've got forms, and I'm organized.
I have 3 different binders. I have one for my pet portraits, one for my D&D stuff, and then more of just a free one. And yeah, I swap them out depending on what show I'm at.
Gotcha.
What layer did I draw that on?
Oh, it's last call for the girlies out.
Oh, those hummingbirds are back.
Every day around, like when the sun really starts getting low, all the different troops and clades of hummingbirds all call a truce, and there's anywhere from 6 to 7 of them that either hover around the sugar water that I have, like the feet are hanging right on the edge of our balcony, or now they also go around to the blooming cherry. I forget exactly what it is. It's a type of like blossom that's very good for hummingbirds. That or a couple other flowers in the immediate area, but it's like new restaurant open,
New cafe.
late night farmers market.
Check it out. I love hummingbirds.
So funny. Do you water your jalapenos?
These little green poppers. Eat
Yeah,
them.
yeah, they need watering.
They will die if they don't eat every 3 hours.
Yup. I looked into how to make a hummingbird warmer when it was snowing here because I felt so bad for them. I'm like, they're still sticking around. I'm like, they will freeze to death real fast.
Oh no.
They go into like I was reading about it. They go into like a torpor state apparently when they do rest like that. I never knew that.
Conserve energy.
Extended fugue. Okay. This
I was reading or re-listening to Discworld books because of it was Discworld Day on the 25th. Um I was telling Hye and Nero about Monstrous Regiment and that being the gayest Discworld book. But also I appreciate Night Watch makes it clear the revolution is only possible because they included sex workers.
Correct.
Though I do think the joke about the most successful person in the Seamstress Guild is the only one who's an actual seamstress. Seamstress is code for sex worker in old-timey census stuff. So in the Discworld, there's the Seamstress Guild, which is the sex workers guild. But some people didn't get the memo, so they take their worn out socks to the Seamstress Guild asking to get them fixed. And there's only one lady who actually knows how to fix socks.
Yeah. Which she would know if she went to a Ren fair.
God, you're right.
But also in their Les Mis parody when they're coming up with their sayings on what they stand for. Truth, justice, reasonably priced love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Joe. Night Watch has the plot of Night Watch is that Commander Vimes time travels to before Vetinari took over, and it's when they're about to overthrow the current patrician, and the way they got weapons to everybody and pass messages around is the sex workers did it because they were the only ones that weren't really getting checked for curfew, because everyone just assumed that the girl standing on the street corner was just there for sex work reasons rather than helping the rebellion reasons. And the head of the Seamstress Guild is a masturbation. Her name is a masturbation joke.
Oh, Terry Pratchett, you card.
Yep. Her name is Rosie Palm.
So the there you go. I'm searching high and low. Where is the book?
I love a good dad joke. Or a good pun.
Book 12. Where?
I remember somebody, speaking of puns, I remember somebody recommending, they're like, you like puns? You'll love the Xanth novels.
Oh.
No. And I was like 14. And I was like, okay, I'll start reading them. I went to the library and took out a bunch of them, and I was like, this is uncomfortably horny.
They're also in Florida.
Florida.
Wait, are they?
Yeah, the guy who wrote it is he lives in Florida. So really what he just did is he took a map of Florida and then just like renamed everything. So
Nice.
the fantasy world is just Florida.
Good. Fantasy Florida.
At least the map is.
Cool. Great. Anyway, don't read those books. Read Terry Pratchett's books. They're great. And they don't have weirdly horny scenes for way too long.
What are these called again?
The Xanth
The Xanth
novels?
novels.
Xanth.
They're also, don't they have like a weird thing that's like women are meant to be dominated, but also are vicious and conniving or something? I remember there being
That sounds like the
some
gore novels.
serious. Well, no, it's like not because I know there's the Gar women must be dominated and they all secretly want to be dominated. So it's not as blatant as that, but there's. I remember reading a thing about like every lady in the Xanth novels is like vicious and conniving, and then you have to trick her into liking you, or some shit like that.
I didn't read enough of them to know, but that sounds about right.
See, I haven't actually read them. It was just reading someone's review of them.
Hmm.
Um,
No, it was like
it
me
reminds
and
me.
my best friend in like grade 7 or whatever. We got them up from the library, and then we were both reading them, and we were like, "Yo, this shit's weird. I don't think we should be reading this."
Um, then I was trying to think of that just makes me think of when uh Wheel of Time, like I watched the first episode on Amazon, um and googled Wheel of Time gender. First result is, does the gender stuff in Wheel of Time ever get better?
Oh,
And the answer is no.
No.
that's yeah, because I remember like seeing one, but it was like, that's even from when it's very gender essentialist. That's a bummer.
Hmm.
I can
Uh,
understand why that was like progressive when it started because ladies on top. But it's
Everybody loves
still
a good
really
magical
like,
girl boss.
yeah. Um
Oh, by the Conan guy. Okay. I'd never heard of this.
what?
Reminds me of
Oh,
the
the
really
Wheel of Time books.
does remind me of like the in the Dark Crystal, the Age of Resistance, or well, no, I guess even the first one, the Dark Crystal. I always thought the dimorphism between the girlies and the fellas, where it's like only the girl gelflings had wings. I remember that I was like, wait, what? What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I, as a birder, was always like, does that mean they have like some kind of funky mating dance? Like,
Yeah.
what's up with that? I want to see that now.
That would have been a
Aren't
fun.
there some insects where only the females have wings?
Yeah.
I think
Or
Like
so.
ants?
no, the males have wings, but only until they have done the fuck, and then they fall off, and they don't fly anymore.
Okay. That makes me think of, there was a boys love manga series called Loveless
Ah,
where
Oh,
Loveless.
all the
Jesus
gay
Christ.
boys had cat ears until they had sex.
Oh, oh,
So
Oh,
lovely.
it's everyone has cat ears until they have sex.
When
okay,
you burn
everyone,
so
not
hard,
just
your
the
ears fall
boys.
off.
Yeah, the one big I guess joke point was the main character was always like, "Oh yeah, my teacher is a virgin and I can tell cuz she's got cat ears."
Wow.
The author has not finished that series, and you know what? It's probably a good thing.
That's fine. That's all we
It's
Yeah,
need.
fine.
that's a
Um
lot.
this is to bring it back to Buffy. There is an episode of Buffy where there is a praying mantis monster
Oh, I
that
remember
only
that one.
eats men that are virgins.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember um watching this with my mom because she was like, since you love Buffy, I'm going to watch it to like be informed about this thing that you love. And we're
Need to keep.
watching
Oh
this
no.
episode.
Oh no,
So
you
we're
Boy.
watched an
watching this
informing episode.
episode, and it's Xander gets kidnapped by the praying mantis lady and almost eaten. And they save him. But at the beginning of the episode, the praying mantis kills this old science teacher. So that way she can take his place and be the substitute science teacher. So they the whole episode happens, and then it ends on Buffy like putting the science teacher's broken glasses like on his desk as like a sweet like she'll remember him moment. And then my mom just goes, "Wait, the science teacher was also a virgin."
I like that was the realist, like, oh.
At the end of the episode.
That man is dead now.
The science teacher was also a virgin.
My high school chemistry teacher lived in the lab for a while
Oh.
because he had a bad breakup and his girlfriend kicked him out. And so he slept in the lab and then he would shower up in the gym. We walked away and he did this for like a month and we didn't find out until we came in one morning and he got up late and he was making his coffee on the Bunsen burner.
Oh my, he's making his
Hell yeah.
Damn, well, gotta do it. And the principal was
my-
alright with this?
I have no I don't think he knew. And then it
Oh.
was a few years later that I was like, oh, he was too ashamed to go and use the coffee maker in the teacher's lounge.
It's
Using a Bunsen burner.
I had a teacher in a science teacher in high school who's named Mr. Husky. And he was telling and so he taught physics, which usually only the seniors took, but juniors could take it if they wanted. The problem is that when the seniors graduated, there's like a month and a half where now the juniors, any juniors that were taking this class, like there's nothing to do because everyone else has graduated.
Right.
So it's me and two other juniors just ended up talking to the science teacher for an hour whenever we had this class. And so he let us know that he grew up in Connecticut and he decided not to go to the University of Connecticut because their mascot was the Husky and his last name is his last name was Husky, so that's why he did not want to go to that school. He then went to Northeastern, not knowing their mascot was also the Huskies.
Good.
So
Damn. Can't win. Time to change your name.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He also had a lot of opinions about Dragon Ball Z and Back to the Future.
We had a really cool teacher named Mr. Funk. Very cool. He was the math teacher, but he would ride to work every day on like one of those pedal trikes that were like lean back.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we all, I don't know who coined it, but we started calling it the Funkmobile. And then he eventually got like a sticker that said the Funkmobile for his trike.
That's funny.
Very
Nice.
I had a science. I think my greatest, most memorable science teacher. His name was Mr. Pitts. Now keep in mind anything I describe about Mr. Pitts. I want you to remember that I went to a practical cult school, where the first stage of the school was K through 7, had a student body of 129, and then my high school had a student body of 8 through 12 and had 86 kids in it at my time of graduation. Mr. Pitts was the husband of the principal. He rode a Harley Davidson to school every day.
Nice.
He one time accidentally threw a student out the window by his hydraulic spinning chair, and my classmate went straight through the window. There was the little slat ones. He bought a tub of liquid nitrogen and dunked graham crackers in it for us to eat because, I quote, it would make us look like dragons. He had all the test answers to every single one of his science tests written on the walls because we would all paint science shit on his walls. And our computer lab that hosted about 12 of us at a time, he would turn into his own custom servers of a joint operations server farmer where he would kill all of us and farm us for XP.
Oh my god.
And this is in like Hawaii too.
This is in like the Big Island of Hawaii. He also had a giant parasail with a smiley face on it, and one time accidentally almost let a student go on it, and she like ripped up her back super hard. Pick her up. And he also took us on a camping, and he also took us on a field trip where we all sat around the woods and grilled steaks.
Wow.
I hope
What a
Mr.
cool
Pick's doing
guy.
alright today.
Rad.
So, while I was looking up reference, I got an Instagram ad for a thing that I now need to share with you all.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
It's blankets for sale, that are great, and I might have to buy them.
I love Instagram ads because it's 50-50 scams or just real stuff that exists.
Yes. What is this? Blankets?
Yeah, they're
Spread
blankets for sale.
Oh, those are very
Oh,
good.
the
I see
frogs.
French
The
frogs.
frogs.
There's a
Show me
cat with a
on.
katana.
I
That's
like
good.
the skeleton abduction
Oh, that's a
blanket.
good fucking.
That's
Oh,
a real
wow.
solid blanket. I like the two ghost friends just walking through the woods.
You're just chilling.
These are really good.
Huh.
Yeah.
I like the capybara one too. That's oh, it's got the
Oh no, we
Matsumoto
just went
Hoji
with the
frog.
same one. The kaiju blanket. Heavily tattooed Godzilla.
Oh, you got the Born to
These are
Swim
good.
motion as a fuck.
Shit, that's good.
Ooh.
Woven blankets are cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna fucking bookmark this place actually.
It's real good.
Yeah, definitely Google to make sure they're real though.
Yeah, they're not like a
Yeah, the thing
knockoff.
is they have some like famous art on them, which also makes me wonder not only are they real, but also like are these the artists?
What's their
Like
rights?
or yeah, did they just steal artwork and put it on blankets?
About. Tell us
Good
about
very
you.
good artwork though. Very good.
It at least says the skeleton abduction uh characters the guy's name who
Okay, so
did the art.
it's probably real then.
Yeah.
I mean, they still might be doing it without his permission, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna check.
Redo the eyes. Oh, okay.
Fucking hacking the Gibson over there.
Sorry, I'll go on
No,
mute.
it's funny.
I
It
forget.
looks like the guy who did the skeleton abduction is a tattoo artist.
Cool.
I found his Instagram and it's a lot of tattoos.
Nice.
So maybe they are doing it with his permission.
Would you get a skeleton abduction tattoo?
No.
I would.
I would. That's kind of rad, actually.
I keep waiting for this one tattoo artist to open up her appointments so I can get the tattoo I've had designed by Carlos B. McNeil for fucking forever. I got it designed before the pandemic, and then like the pandemic happened. So
yeah, my tattoo I got because it was going to be my like 10th time at Gen Con exhibiting, and I was like, I want something for this. I'm gonna get myself a tattoo, and so it was 2019. I took some of the savings from Gen Con that year and set them aside. I'm like, oh, we'll get these in the spring, and then it was the pandemic.
Oh no.
So
I had a tattoo artist that I was communicating with via email. We were sorting out a like sleeve for my right arm because I have a hand tattoo, and I was like, let me just like complete this so this looks a little less silly. And we had set up an appointment for April of 2020, and she has since moved cross country.
Oh no.
Not
That's
Zoe.
okay. No, this is a different person. What name do they go by now?
Okay, that is as much art as I can do on this page because I am not done drawing the 200 caribou that go in this middle panel. It's gonna be cool.
I
There's
don't
a
blame them.
That is too many caribou.
so this is the here's a rough thumbnail of the like massive herd of caribou moving through the area. That's I'm still drawing on my big sheet of paper, but it's gonna look cool. It's gonna be a cool page, but it's gonna take a lot more inking to get there. Oh, that's actually cool. There's a before and after. That's what my thumbs look like. And then that's what it looks like with my inks.
I do love classic of thumbnailing of just being like pointing a little arrow and being like, yeah, that goes there.
Yeah.
And
What
you're like, oh, I have to do that now? I have to draw that?
yeah, I just like drew squiggles. I was like, these will be caribou at some point. Caribou herd leaving, they'll look like that. This is like the chapter I've been dreading since the start of this project where I'm like, right, so the chapter with all the caribou, that's gonna be a interesting couple of weeks. I am in the thick of
Well,
it now.
you'll know how to like draw caribou when you're asleep now, essentially.
Oh,
So
yeah. For the back of the herd, I just started freehanding them because apparently I can just freehand caribou now.
nice.
You should see if Clip Studio has a little caribou model.
I didn't look for that. I was thinking of making a caribou brush for the caribou in the back of the herd, but then I realized I could just freehand them faster. I did make a spruce brush though for all of my spruce trees that I have to draw. Let's see if I can show that one off. Oh, I also made a D20 stamp because I draw too many freaking D20 in other projects. So I can now just stamp them and then they go on the table and I go, look, there's some D20 now.
Oh, nice.
This is much easier than drawing all those angles. Where is where's my brush? Oh, there
I
it
don't want to work. I just want to play RimWorld.
is.
Oh no.
Not Tears of the Kingdom.
I don't have that yet.
Yeah,
I'm not allowed to buy it until after I finish my graphic novel. That I have to finish writing it. So Meredith has something to draw before I can jump into uh doing that. But RimWorld's right there and it's always right there. And I made a
People
little
are
group.
friends.
Yeah, I made a cult where they're turning into wolf people, and they're gonna have a wolf farm. So they're gonna have wolf cows and wolf chickens and wolf horses and all wolves all the time.
That doesn't sound like Kel at all.
Um,
Those are my pages for this week. So I am done. I guess I'm gonna draw some other stuff.
Also, there was a weird thing while I was last playing is I have a mod called Rim of Magic, which lets them be wizards.
Hell yeah.
And if they're wizards, magic events can happen. Like a lich can attack your colony. Um, but I had a map that was like a mountain donut. So that way we can use the mountain to protect our walls. So theoretically, we can only be attacked from one side. Um, but the lich like spawned in the mountain.
Oh no.
So we got the notification that the lich was there. And if I hit the thing to select the lich that's about to attack us, it would show me where in the mountain he was. But he had to like slowly dig into our colony so he could attack us. Like So he had to dig through a giant bit of mountain. It took him a year, in game, what would be a year, to attack us after we got the notification.
Dedicated.
Nice. Dedicated.
So I just waited for him to get there, and then we had our laser guns ready for him. He
Well,
he
see,
didn't
that's
last
promising.
very long. I have the magic mod, not because I want my people to be wizards, but because then you can have dire wolves, which are wolves big enough to ride on.
Good.
And they're also stupid OP. And I have a mod that is called Hunt for Me, where you can just tell any of your animals that are big enough to go hunt for meat for the colony. So I just have a big pack of dire wolves, and I'm like, go kill some stuff, and we'll chop it up into food.
Good.
Go to the grocery store, please.
You almost
And
need
as
something
as
else.
long as a dragon doesn't attack,
Yeah.
we're the most powerful thing on the map. Except one of my other mods just added a big giant insect kaiju monster, so that we have to fight on our own, because it will kill all our wolves.
Not the wolf friends.
Alina, have you been playing RimWorld?
Not recently, but I have put in
Mhm.
many 100 of hours into that game. An embarrassing amount. It's very good.
You should probably get the mod Rim of Magic,
Yeah, it sounds fun.
so your people can be wizards.
Excellent. I had the furry one where it's all like you inject yourself with different animal DNA and then it'll get you a random effect that'll be cool.
Pawn
And all.
Morpher.
Pawn Morpher, yes, that's the one. That's a fun one. And there was another one that like made the vampires more vampire-y, but the werewolves weren't out yet, and I was waiting for the
Yeah, the
werewolves to come out.
werewolves. We're still waiting on werewolves.
Yeah, I want some wolves.
Nero, I like this person that you linked.
Oh yeah, Makoto Chi. That was the tattoo person I was talking about.
Oh, nice.
If
I
you
think.
know a tattoo person that is good at fine
Ooh.
lines and black and white artwork, if I can't get an appointment with this person that I've been looking at, maybe I should just go to Seattle for a day and
Oh, those are very
get it
pretty.
there.
Yeah, there's a
I
lot of.
have Yeah, I have someone to recommend, but unfortunately her bookings are like you got to put it out shit like 6 months in advance.
I know. The person I have one of my arm tattoos would probably be pretty good. I'll have to pull up her Instagram after I'm done working.
What's the plan?
I'll post the image that I was gonna get. It's a little crest of all the shit that influenced Sorcery 101,
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
which tells you when I commissioned it from Carla. Because Sorcery 101's been over for a while.
Oh wait, here we go. Danny Wilson. She does a lot of good stuff. Oh, that's a cool piece, Kel.
Yeah.
Or did you post it?
I put it in voice text for the call.
Oh, that's really rad. That's gorgeous. Is that Wolfsbane?
No, it is lilac because it's
Oh,
references to stuff that influenced Sorcery 101. So you have Buffy Scythe,
cool.
Sailor Jupiter wand, Sokka's boomerang, BPRD logos at the bottom, and then the center is the watch badge. And then lilac is also from Night Watch.
Nice.
As just a unifying thing.
Is that a Sokka's
Yeah,
boomerang?
it's his
Yeah.
boomerang. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is gorgeous. Man, Avatar: The Last Airbender is such a fucking good show. I
Yeah.
I still have such fun. I need to rewatch it here soon. I've been meaning to. My friend who's gonna be visiting here in August is a real nerd for it, and I'm like,
Nice.
It holds up pretty well.
It really
really,
does.
God,
Yeah.
what a fucking good and I really me, Armenian asshole. Really, I really appreciate the way they depict Aang in that series. You know, saddled with all these expectations of being an airbender and as a cultural liaison, not really no I don't know. I just oof, still good. Really holds up.
Oh, like the diaspora feels.
Yeah, and it's good. It's partially why I have my thoughts on Korra as a series and
Korra.
how it
I
kind
mean,
of
it's centrist nonsense. That's the sum up of Korra.
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, the hand holding right at the end is still one of the. It's bad, but it's also one of the funniest things I think I've seen a series do.
Well, the thing is
Just like, no wait, they're gay. Look right at the end.
For the last 10 minutes.
I mean, they didn't plan for her to be gay, so
Mm,
it's not like Steven Universe where they were fighting for years and years and years and then
yeah.
had
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
it. So it was literally like that season they were like, "Oh, Korra and Asami have better chemistry than Mako and any of the girls.
Anybody. Yeah.
So they should get together rather than anyone else." So like I don't super mind them doing it at the last minute because they didn't plan for it. They were
Also,
just going with what was
kind of
working.
paved the way for other shows because they were like, "Oh, that got a decent reception. Okay, I guess this is a thing we can allow now."
Mm-mm.
Um and it's also like I appreciate them like making a romantic decision based on the chemistry that was naturally occurring. Because the
Yes.
one complaint I have about Last Airbender is Aang and Katara. While I get that Aang having a crush on Katara, I feel like that's well built up. I
Mhm.
don't think they did a good job of building up Katara's feelings for Aang.
Mhm.
So I feel like them being together at the end is even more abrupt than Korra and Asami.
Yeah.
Um, and also Mako has no chemistry with any of the girls. So
No.
it's like whenever they
No.
planned a romance, they did a very bad job.
Mako has no chemistry with anyone. He's just there.
He has chemistry with his brother, and if him and his brother just hung out like being bros, that's the ideal show in my mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Or at least the ideal use of Mako. Um then like my favorite bit in season 1 with Mako is when they're like cornered by a bad guy and then like him and Bolin like exchange a glance and then like do one hand gesture and it's like a single signal to do an entire routine.
Yes.
Um that helps them get away. That is like they should have done more of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so clearly writing romance is not the showrunner's strength. So
No.
like
Yeah.
Korra and Asami, it's fine. Like
It
it
It's one of
being
those things
last
the
minute.
fans have run with and taken to the hills and done utmost,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Tumblr canon is the only one that matters now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like when all the Zutara Aang stuff was going on, I was just like, I don't think Katara has an interest in either of them.
Mm-hmm.
God, remember when the Nickelodeon Twitter tried to like do shipping war stuff with Korra?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Did
That
they?
they did
yeah.
that with Avatar too. All the like
Did they? I
next
remember.
episode previews, like whenever they did like when there was the secret tunnel episode, the next episode like preview was all like ship Aang and Katara, ship Aang and Katara. And then when they did the season 2 finale, it was all shots of like Zuko and Katara like in the cave together. So like the advertising knew what they were doing. Like
Oh
let's
yeah.
fan these shipping war flames.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
God, that's funny. I just remember it for the Korra one specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I am finished inking, so I think I may say goodnight for now.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm probably
Later.
gonna head off
Yeah.
to gonna send the
Thanks.
last email here.
Thanks for hanging out, y'all.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on the stream. Fun.
Yeah. I shall see you around the internet.
On the
Let's have a good
internet.
evening.
Bye.
There you go. There he goes. Why are you?
Hi, have I ever
Hi.
sent you the uh Kay and Skittles videos about Legend of Korra?
No.
It's called Politic Bending, and it's
Oh.
critiquing how badly the politics are written in Legend of Korra.
It's really unfortunate too because I had a lot of like really cool prospects for building up that universe in it. Like I did like the juxtaposition of a very rapidly industrialized like world of benders and like how that might play into, resource management, like the Republic. So it's you had a really cool sandbox, and I will never forget the absolute blind rage that I felt at this. And like, I get that she is a character that is supposed to change as the season goes on. I get that, whatever. But like the idea of Tenzin inviting Korra to his house, and is like, okay, I know it's gonna be a little bit of a hassle, but like, I'm willing to train you with the tools that my father and his people left me to help you learn airbending. The fact that she is a fucking temper tantrum and destroys a 3,000-year-old artifact and it's played for laughs tells me all I need to know about that series is politics. Like, bro.
Yeah.
Ugh, and it's just like the whole and again, I know Chorus. It's supposed to be like she's kind of had her whole life hyped up for her, and so she thinks she's hot shit as a result. I understand that, but at no point am I especially during the first season, which again I understand these writers didn't know whether or not they were going to get any future material. There's still better ways that you can end it, in my argument, but whatever. But like she was just too like it's not click. And then the whole shit in season 3 too really pissed me off. Where they're like, oh yeah, all that genocide that happened against the Airbenders, it's fine. Because now these people who were uh endemic to whatever region, I think that I forget exactly. They were like some form of Earth. Like
Well, so most of them are in the Earth Kingdom
right.
because And I heard a fan theory that everyone who had airbender powers awaken um is descended from airbenders.
It's just
Like,
really like
well,
I don't.
yeah, no, I understand your problems with it. Like, it's these are people who are being like, um, while it is still a genocide that what happened to the airbenders,
Yeah.
like, not all of them should have been in those temples when they got attacked.
Yeah, it's like all of the other ones
Um,
had kingdoms, and then the airbenders were just monks, and you're like, no.
Yeah.
cause the world building is that, like, when you're a kid and when you're older, you stay in the temple. So everyone who is like, um, teenager and or between teenager and like 40 is being a nomad. Like they're doing most of the nomad stuff.
Hmm.
So like, yeah, the Fire Nations hit all the temples. The Fire Nation hit all the temples at once, but they're nomads, so there must have been some not at the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Presumably,
and
most of them.
and so it would make sense for at least a few to go into hiding after that. Which is why there's a fan theory that all the people who had it awaken in them are descended from airbenders, but they're still completely severed from that culture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is where they just sort of like, oh, it's fine, they're all back now, and you're like,
Yeah, it's fine.
"Yeah,
They're
this
all back.
punishment is not great.
Yeah, like and I totally on a technicality level, I get that fan theory, and I get that's like if you especially want to make that setting work, but just as especially for it's like for how well they did that, very stark, honestly, depiction of
Mhm.
like these people fucking died really rough because of genocide. Like and to have that so casually hand waved away where it's like, oh, because and also like a cultural assumption where it's like, oh well, you have airbending powers, that automatically means you're airbenders now. Like it's
Yeah.
Well,
it would be like telling
there was
again.
at least a pushback on that because when Tenzin was going around telling people that, a bunch of people did say, no, I like
No.
Yumi.
Yeah,
Um,
I have very I've thoughts on
so,
it.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
same,
no,
same.
like, oh, so with the K and Skittles videos, one of the things, because he is focusing on like more the wider politics,
Mhm.
rather than getting into the specifics of a race that it was the victim of genocide, because he's obviously not equipped to say that.
Yeah.
He focuses on so you have in the last season um Kuvira being all
Ah,
earthbender pride,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's favorite
or
eugenics girly.
well, here's the thing is he's like he brings up the argument that like, okay, she's Earth Kingdom pride, but she is also someone who is talking about part of the Earth Kingdom was colonized and like land was stolen from them. So her saying Earth Kingdom pride is not the same as a white supremacist saying white pride. Like, and the fact that they are taking someone who while uh who part of her upbringing was colonized and
Mhm.
comparing it to white supremacists.
Oh,
Oh, I think Kel may have
oh,
dropped.
Kel. Oh no.
No, Kel.
Get back here. Oh, Kel. Help.
Finish the thought, though.
Ah. Well, and then there were
Well,
two.
yep.
Goodbye, Kel.
I too have feelings about the depiction of like,
Yeah.
yo, so when your people and your culture get genocided, it's a real problem.
Yeah,
You
like
can't
it's
just
just
hand wave that.
it just really fucking frustrated me. And like the whole everything with cuz like I feel like there was just so much potential, and then I remember every
Yes.
season them hiding behind that stupid excuse of, "Well, we don't know if we're going to get another season." It's like, "Bitches, you are on season 3." at this point you're gonna have to adapt. Like, stop. I get production pressure, like, plays a part in that, but also suck it up. You did it before.
Yep. Like you're also doing some good numbers right now on the networks. Like you're
Oh.
one of the highest rating animated
Mm-hmm.
shows currently. So if anyone can pull it off, it's you guys.
Yeah. It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
I have thoughts on it.
Me too. I was very excited when it first came out because I was like, "Yeah, this is gonna be
Yes.
exciting," and then I was like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no, there's some
Oh
problems in the writing
no.
room." Oh
I will. I
no.
will never. I think one of the funnier ones to what, like, not what instances I remember of that show was when Cora was racing the small child. Um, on it was like in the beginning of season 2, and Cora got pissy because one of Tenzin's kids like beat her in an airbending race and like
Yes.
purposefully jinxed it so that the small child would not win the race. It's like,
She doesn't get pissy. She just cheats.
it's so like, what the fuck?
Like they were trying really hard to sell, oh, she's not like Aang, who was all like wise beyond his years. She's a different person, and you're like, okay, but you're selling it real hard, and you're making her very shitty.
You're selling it real hard, and I'm not entertained, but I'm just annoyed.
Also, literally, there's a scene in season 1 that is like the "Help, help! I'm being oppressed" Monty Python
Oh
bit
yeah,
where Cora
you're
is the
oppressing
oppressor.
yourselves.
The one thing I always bring up about Legend of Korra, the problem with its politics not being well thought out is, are the non-benders actually oppressed before the curfew? Because I don't think they ever really answer that. Yes, Amon blames all the benders, but we don't know, is he using it as benders as a scapegoat for capitalist problems? Because there's the bit where they hang out with the homeless people, and the homeless folks are like, here, benders and non-benders live in harmony, and it's like, so kind of seems like before the curfew there could be a reasonable argument for we're scapegoating benders to avoid overthrowing capitalism.
It was a really cool setting because it's like, hey, so there is two different conversations to have here. So you can have the like class based stuff because you're like, hey, look, it's now an
Well,
industrialist society, and some people are haves, and there's a lot of have-nots because that's what happens when you get industrialism real fast.
Yes. Mm.
And let's not address any of that. Let's talk about the bender non-bender shit. And you're like, yeah, but most of the benders are also haves.
yeah, so the thing is like,
yeah.
well, this is why it's like, I think they need to be clearer on if the non-benders are actually oppressed, because before the curfew, um, the only non-bender that we talk to is Asami, who is a have.
Yep.
And
she's rich as
the
fuck.
No, she's like a 1%er. Like she's a super have.
Yeah.
And then she's a 1%er, and then the two benders, that Cora hangs out with were homeless until they became pro sports people. So like it
you don't have a
could
good basis for comparison.
No.
Yeah, so like we don't know what is the day in the life of the average non-bender who isn't a 1%er, because obviously being a 1%er is insulating Asami from oppression that may or may not be happening.
Yes.
She don't need powers. She got a racing car.
Yeah, she's Batman. Her superpower is money. But yeah, so it's just like you need to establish like what is the actual situation, so that way
yes,
we know
if
what the stakes
Amon,
are.
because even the resolution at the end where she overthrows Amon and then his followers break up, but then the president is elected and they say, "Oh, he's gonna address the abuses of non-benders," and it's like,
Okay.
okay, but what does that mean? And
Yeah.
then there's also like they just don't think things through, and
Yeah,
that's the
there's not a
main
lot of follow
problem.
through on
Hmm.
some of the plot thread or like theme
Because
threads.
yeah, because either I feel like I would be fine with yes, benders are oppressed, non-benders are oppressed, or I'd be fine with he is using them as a scapegoat to gain power.
Yeah.
Like
But like
either
pick a
is a
lane.
perfectly acceptable
Pick a
answer.
lane.
You just need to make it clear which one is the answer.
Hmm.
Um and then at the end it turns out it was horseshoe theory all along, which goes back to my earlier statement of Korra is centrist nonsense.
Hmm.
Um and then I know someone who they said Korra's bad because Korra's a cop.
Well, I mean, Bolin becomes a cop by the end of the
No,
series.
no,
Yeah.
Mako becomes a cop, but
Mako becomes a
they mean
cop. Bolin is
Bolin's an
like,
actor.
okay.
He's a movie star. He's
Right.
a himbo that doesn't understand.
No, that's right. He was a cop for a little bit in like
Yeah.
the Metal Bender secret police shit.
And then he
No,
got
he
kind of
wasn't even he no, he can't he failed all that. He sucks. Like that's
He sucks.
yeah, no, in season 1 they're pro athletes, and then in season 2
Right.
Mako's a cop and Bolin doesn't know what to do with himself, so he becomes an actor. Um and then um in season 3 they're just hanging out with Korra, and then they meet their grandma who they've never talked to before.
right.
Um which is fair because their parents were immigrants and then died when they were very, very little. So not meeting their grandma in another country is fair. But so yeah, so they get to reconnect with their roots in season 3. And then season 4 is Mako is more of a cop and Bolin is working for a fascist regime.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice all around.
But he when working with Kuvira is not being a cop, he is
He's
like
like trying
handing
out to
out
be okay.
foodstuffs. Yeah. So he's he's part of her propaganda that she's good.
Hmm.
So he
Propaganda
understandably not
food.
realizing that she is up to no good when all he's been doing is handing out food um is understandable, but he's still a dope.
But that was established from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a real nice guy. Not super
He
bright, not super lucky. He's not a main character.
Yeah. I
Definitely
don't
a
know. It's like,
secondary character kind of
I mean,
guy.
you had comic relief characters too in
Yeah.
the original series who really, I mean, got some. I mean, fucking look at Sokka. Originally comic
Sokka's
relief,
he
misogynist extreme, and then like fucking one of the best characters by the end of the whole thing.
Hmm.
meat and sarcasm guy. He's me.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh God, but fucking by the way, can we talk about how stupid it is that Toph became a cop at the end of the
Oh
series?
God, yes.
Apparently.
Yeah. Like
Ugh.
she started all of the
I
cats.
no, I can kind of buy it because she likes to boss people around. Um
Yeah.
and then the fact that she just quit randomly and disappeared also
I'm gonna
I
go live in
feel
the
like
woods.
yeah, I feel like all of Toph's future checks out because she does like to abuse her power.
Mm.
Um, it
She
makes
definitely
sense
does.
that she would be a bad mom in the opposite way that her parents were bad.
Yes, now
Um,
that I understand. Yes.
it also makes sense that she would fuck random dudes and
Hmm.
not be into sticking around like until
Yeah.
once she's bored of them.
I do like
I
that
re-
her whole family turned into the fucking Succession family though at the end, like by
Yeah.
season 4.
yeah.
Who's
Um
gonna take over?
so I think Top's future is the one I buy the most
Mm.
is um because she is abusing her power and then irresponsibly dumping it when she's bored.
Yeah, I believe it in that aspect of it. Like you
Yeah.
surmised it really well. I just don't see her like sticking with it that long to become a cop in the first place. I don't know, or like, eh,
I guess maybe she got a taste for power. She's like, I do like this part of the job.
probably,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. I think that's the main thing is she likes, abusing her power.
We know this about her.
And then it makes sense that, her, uh, daughter, Lynn, would be, like, super
Yes.
rigid because she
Yeah.
was a shitty
Oh,
two
100%. Yeah, like
no
Top is a
rules
like
mom.
the way those two absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Also, it makes sense that Top
Um,
would just fuck off because she's like, I was a rich kid and I never really had to work a job, so this got
Yeah.
tough and I'm leaving. Bye.
Bye.
or I'm just bored of it by,
Yeah.
and then,
Actually, I have a friend right
uh
now who's writing a Star Trek: The Original Series AU of a Sokka and Zuko fic.
Nice.
Zuko is a Romulan XB, and it's like set during the Klingon Cold War. It's a very good. He's apparently doing like 12 chapters for it, and he just finished the like first part of 4. And I'm like, you live your best life, bestie.
Dang.
um That's good. Uh,
And he's
I
super
feel
young.
like Sokka gets the most realistically written romances because he just
Yes.
flirts with ladies and then moves on.
Also,
Let's
he
see if I
flirts
can.
awkwardly with ladies like a random awkward teenager, and then is like, I can't believe that worked.
I like that he ended up with a girlfriend in every nation.
Yeah, they're like, this is the one thing we can give him as a character. He's not a bender. He's just there for the ride, but he is good at good at ladies. Can talk to
Okay.
the ladies.
I'm putting it, if either of you want to read it, I'm putting it in voice text now for
Hell
later.
yeah.
But yeah, I recommend the politic bending K and Skittles videos. They're very good.
I will remember this. Thank you. This God, I wanted. I remember when that series first came out too. I was so thrilled about it. Like one that really stuck with me was that one shot of when Tenzin is coming in over Republic City, and you
Mhm.
have like this of a very industrialized city against this vista of where his family lived out on Airbender Island. And I was like, oh wow, that's a cool visual cue for like showing, the clash of like, rapid capitalism rising with like,
Oh, here's
Yeah.
the other thing.
and then they just did
This
fucking nothing with it.
Yup.
Well, here's the other thing. This is something that they actually did do that is good and intentional. Is
So,
um, before Cora even gets to Republic City,
mm.
um, and she meets Tenzin's wife, and Tenzin's wife is like, I would like at least one non-bender kid, um, who isn't gonna blow air in my face,
Mm.
like.
Constantly.
Um, and so the goofy little argument of do we want this new bit kid to be a bender or not? Is like prelude to the actual conflict and is thematically relevant to what's going on.
Mm,
And I do like when shows do that. The problem is to go back to, as I said, they just don't think things out
no.
because um the other thing is, okay, so you have all of the um nations in the last airbender are
Mm,
based off different uh parts of China
mm,
and other parts of Asia or and some Inuit stuff.
yeah.
And so then you get Republic City and it's based off Hong Kong in the 20s, but Hong Kong in the 20s looks like that because of Western influences.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
So
That's not a
they
thing here. So where did
and
that come from?
there's no West in Avatar Last Airbender world.
Yeah.
So
Your
how
two
did
sources are clashing one another.
Hmm.
The meat
yeah,
of what you've prepared is inherently incompatible, and that's why your system ends up collapsing because you don't follow through on that slash you didn't take this into consideration with the context of your own setting.
Hmm.
yeah, so it's basically like they while it's fine to make it look like a reminiscent of Hong Kong in the 20s, it's still like, but where did that influence come from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they should have maybe been more creative and extrapolated what would a more modern Asia look like without
Without
Western
Western influence.
influences.
Hmm.
Which is what for as much as I am bored of everything in the MCU, at least when designing Wakanda,
Oh man.
they really went full force on
I mean, that's
what
not.
would an African nation
Yeah.
look like without
Yeah.
Western
That's not
influences.
because
It's
Marvel
like,
was really smart about it. That's because the people in charge of that movie were like, "Yo, you have
yeah,
free
the people,
reign. Hire some amazing African artists to
Yeah,
yeah,
let
like
us
spec shit,
we
yeah.
are taking
I
the
know that that's
Afrofuturism
not
dial and
Marvel's
cranking it up to
credit. That's it.
5,000.
That's the
basically."
people
And
who
that was
lived,
amazing.
Yeah.
yeah. That so it's like my point being more that it's not impossible when working in a big corporate machine
Yeah.
to design to go through that logical thought
But
process.
Yeah.
you need the big corporate machine to be able to give you the reins and be like, "Yo, we don't know what we're doing culturally here, so have
Hmm.
money and go nuts, and we'll sign off on basically whatever."
Yeah.
You need the corporation to be willing to do that, and that's tough.
Hmm.
But the thing is like they gave Cora so much money that like they could have done that. Like, cause it's just the design of the city. Like it's not
Yeah.
like um they're saying let's overthrow capitalism in the story.
Well,
Like
what if you did
I
though?
feel they should. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have put that in. I think that is the main problem of Korra is that they are not saying let's overthrow capitalism.
Yeah.
But I feel like Nickelodeon wasn't going to get in the way of the way the city looked. They're getting in the way of should we overthrow capitalism?
The
Yes,
game
no.
was
Yes.
definitely overthrow capitalism. We all know that in our hearts.
Yeah. Um
All right. God, finally it's 10 o'clock. How is it 10 o'clock right
I know,
now?
right? I think
yeah,
I
it
think
is
we're
10
going for a
o'clock
bit.
and that means it is time for the stream to wrap up.
Oh.
Thanks for joining
Thank
us,
you
y'all.
folks
Yeah.
for
Thank you.
watching. Yeah. You all have a good one. Thanks for listening to us rant about Korra.
Hell yeah.
Um, Laters.
Talk to you later.
Good evening and good night.